Hey guys. All right. Better turn music off before I get ostracized for copyright. I'm outside. It's a little chilly, but I'm for it. Gotta get myself situated. My coffee will help. You'll be able to hear the birds. It'll be a peaceful stream. Hopefully. Although I'm going to bring up maybe a topic that's not so peaceful. Friyay. I am off today. I'm off every other Friday. So I think what I'm going to do, hey Pseudo, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to orientate myself to do Friday nights when I'm working Fridays, and then Friday mornings when I'm not working on Fridays. Hey, Forever. It is chilly, but I actually had the window open this morning, so it was nice. The robins are going crazy, so you might see some fly by. I don't know. Hey, Tony. I don't see Tony pop up. I have my full screen on. All right. As long as you can see me and hear me, should be good. Right. Yeah, so I had a tag on the comments, or a pin, excuse me. But I took it off because I don't want that to be the main focus of what I had on my mind. I mean, I can still mention it, but, you know. Hey, Captain. Yeah, the birds. I was going to try to situate myself where you could see the trees and stuff, but I couldn't figure, I couldn't move my chair like that and everything. So, what we're not going to do is talk about current events. And it's funny, it's kind of precarious outside. I'm going to speak in a normal tone. My neighbors aren't out, so I don't know, but I think most of them are not coming outside. It's funny because, you know, the spring weather hits and then everyone gets the allergies. And then we don't feel good and we don't enjoy the weather. There's two robins going at it right over there. They're crazy. Like they have you seen the robins all swoop down and they look like they're gonna come at you full on, but they don't. And at the last second they swoop up or swoop to the side. It's funny. Yeah, so what we're not going to do is talk about current events because, one, we don't know what's real and what's not. Well, I think we know more of what's real and what's more of what is fake. I like the way someone put it. He said, how did he say it now? Let me think. This is my first cup of coffee. I got to wake my brain up. He's not so much looking at the events that are happening, hey Snowman, but he's looking at how people are responding, which is right. And that's what I do also. I have done that. I hope, hey Bruce, I hope everyone does that because you don't want to react like the masses, right? And that's hard, because if you are in tune with everything around you, you can still feel and sense what people feel, but you can't give into that same sway. It's funny, hey Jess, because in the programs I work with the children to help them in reading, there's a whole list of vocabulary words once they get to a certain level of argument words. And this is actually just off the cuff, but I will talk about it because it's relevant. So these argument words are, sorry, I'm going to try to keep warm. These argument words are debate, persuade, facts. So these are all vocabulary terms they have to know the definition of, and then use and understand, and also apply to in a scenario situation, like a sentence. So persuade, debate. Now I'm drawing a blank, and I do this every day. What are some other argument words that are kind of third, fourth grade level? It's just funny because it's already getting them, and I actually want to weave in truth in among teaching those terms. So anyways, of course I'm drawing a blank because it's Friday and my brain doesn't want to turn on because I'm not at work. So anyways, those types of words, information, and words that you would use to persuade people, or different types of arguments that you would use in writing or speaking or in general. So that list of words is very telling of how the culture wants us to be, right? They want debates, they want facts, they want knowledge, they want persuasion. I think it was last year, almost 2 years ago now, I worked at a school, and there was all the commotion of active, what, I can't, I want to be careful with my words. So someone coming in with a weapon, and of course it's on the news, and that's all people talked about for a whole day or two. People talked about that, and I was like, I really just stayed out of the conversation. And then later that year, there was some type of threat, and we had to get, it was my daughter's school, we had to get 700 something children out onto the side parking lot. So supposedly there was a threat at the middle school, which is across the street. We had to get the 700 children outside, but we didn't. Now, this type of threat was in the building, supposedly. We didn't. How can you get 700 children away from a building as far away as you can? You can't. So if something really was a threat, we were literally, 200 feet away from the building. That wouldn't help anybody. And it wasn't a drill either. It was a legit, like, the police had to come. And then the kids, oh my gosh, this was the worst. So how did people react? Obviously, if you have a situation like that causes fear automatically. Kids had their phones. They were calling their parents. They were crying. We had 3rd through 5th graders. The 3rd graders were crying. Parents were still dropping their kids off, and then they would not drop them off because they just went back home. And then the rest of the day, kids were going home in droves because either the parents were calling and saying, I'm coming to pick up my child, or the children were so distraught and shell-shocked that their anxiety kicked in, and then it was a mess of a day. And I think it was a Friday, and half the school went home. You didn't get notified? I don't know why. I saw the word you're going to debate me. Now, I'll say this. I can debate. I'm a good debater, I think, but I don't do it. I only do it if it's necessary to prove. I won't say that. I won't debate unless it's necessary to prove just something has to be justified. That's when I debate. Otherwise, I don't. So, anyways, my whole point of that story was, the whole point of it was, how did people react? And then people react emotionally, and emotions are strong, and that provides a climate and an atmosphere. And hey, Alki, thank you for coming. And the rest of it was a shit show. And yeah, I might have to grab more coffee soon too. And that's why we have to watch how people react versus reacting. And I can say I'm getting better at. These two robins are so funny. Oh, he just hit his head on the grill. Anyway, it's really funny. They're really fighting, like mid-air fighting. Sorry. Squirrel. That's funny. I don't know what they're fighting about, but there's plenty of trees. Yeah, Bruce, the bait is what fools the fish. Right. So we have to watch how people are reacting. And it's, fuck this realm. It's all that they feed on is reaction. And it's just well known in psychology. It's well known in, I work with children. Hey, G. When one reacts, the other will react. Isn't that a scientific thing too? I'm not a scientist, but it's just common. It's another thing I teach, another concept I teach all the time in literature and things is cause and effect. And damn, it really gets annoying. So yeah, look out for how people are reacting versus the actual event. There is no event. I'm more convinced the things right in front of me, the things, of course, that we experience as individuals are reality. Nothing else really is. You can't really experience anyone else's experience. You can't. You can't even experience something with another person and then have the same experience. Get it? The same events have been happening. Think about, 01. Where were you in 01? I know where I was. And that whole day was a shit show too. I remember I think I was like 19. Was I 19? Yeah. I was looking up at the sky all day. It was just weird. It was weird. They cast spells. All that crap. Anyways, rise above it. There's a Switchfoot song called Rise Above It. I think it's called Rise or Rise, something like that. Yes, it's been happening for centuries. It's the same shit. Reset. They want to reset your mind. And I don't like the terms like download and all this. We can figure out truths on our own without getting a download of information. We're not downloading anything. We are experiencing and taking in what the truth is. Sorry, hairs on my face. But so yeah, on to the next thought. So this was something, this is kind of why I took away my pin. Along that line, and I guess I am kind of talking about current events, but I'm not. I'm talking about it in the way that I look at it in perspective. I don't know, Nathan, sometimes, oh, your emojis pop up like a second later. The restream's weird. Anyways, so I was listening to this devotional, not by my choice, but my daughter's, so it's fine for her. And these little devotionals are supposed to be Bible devotionals, but they always have like a relevant thing to relate it to, you know, because the Bible's not relatable already. I don't know. They have to put in some mainstream something. So they equated, it blew my mind. It didn't blow my mind. I was ready for it. Hey, Carlson. But my heart felt the, I'll tell you in a second, but the way I felt when I heard the skewing was just like, bleh, I wanted to vomit. Like, I almost had to walk out of the room. Like, I couldn't take the grossness of it. So, the devotional was talking about loving others. Okay, fine. Loving others. That's something we all can agree on, no matter what. And you have the worst timing always. Well, Nathan, I have the perfect timing always. Not always. I'm just kidding. That's funny. You say that. I'm sure you don't. You have good timing. You have good rhythm. So what this devotional said was how we love one another and blah, blah, blah. And they had a scenario where Yeshua showed that or commanded that. He commanded that we love one another. But then they flipped it and they said that's why the British royal family always gives to others. And I was like, what the fuck? What would they just say? Total antithesis. So literally, and here I get on my soapbox about the system of the church. Hey, Rad. Because I always seem to get back to that because I guess it's in my face all the time. I'm really in a mood today. So they were equating Jesus's commands and showing as an example what the royal family does. And I was like, stop it. Because I'm not going to say anything about the royal family stuff, okay? That's a whole nother shit show. I'm just going to say shit show all stream because that's what everything is. If Yeshua himself was standing and commanding you as a person to love one another, he would not say, look at my friends, the British royal family, and how they show love and care for people. You might as well have Yeshua walking hand in hand with Satan. Right? Hey, mindful. Is that you, Jenny? You're Jenny, right? I'm going to call people by their first names. I'm sorry. I myself laugh. And I don't mean to cause a horrible image. I'm going to cry. I get so passionate about this. Give me a fucking break. This is why I don't go to church. This is why I don't subscribe to religion anymore. I have my faith in the Most High. Jeez, and I hear this all the time on these piddly devotionals, and my daughter likes them because they are simple. Oh, Sarah. My daughter's middle name is Sarah, so nice to meet you, Sarah. I like the name Sarah. It means Yah's princess. So, anyways, it just way threw me off. I was about to throw up. I was about to like throw something. I kept my cool and I just sat there and listened to the rest of the damn thing. And it just, sorry, she's looking at me through the window. I can't take that kind of stuff anymore. And oh, it was just so stupid. And I hate stupidity like that. Things are not as they seem. Oh, that's cool, Carlson. I'll call you John Wick, sure. Things are not ever what they seem. Ever. And people are just lulled to sleep. Sleep. The funny thing is, I think Yeshua said it, and it's in the Old Testament, that people, hey, Wendy, I'll text you later, Wendy. People have their ears stopped. They have their eyes closed. Most people in the church will say, oh, that's such a nice devotional. Love one another. It's the new commandment. Well, where are you really seeing that? Not from the royal family, not from Satan himself, the spawn of Satan. Like, come on. And you know what? I'm not saying also to be hyper aware all the time. And let me say this. We should be aware. I don't think we should be hyper aware. That's an imbalance. And if you're hyper aware all the time, let me tell you, because I've experienced it, is very draining. And it actually will suck, the energy out of you if you are hyper aware all the time. I did used to be that way a lot, especially with spiritual things. And now I just take it as it comes, because if it comes to me, I have to handle it, and that's mine to handle. So yeah. And I don't know if it's because I've got my head in so many things that I do feel overwhelmed quicker. I hope that's not a sign of weakness. I don't know. In the same moments, I can feel so strong and so weak at the same time. It's really, it's perplexing to me how I can feel that way. Oh, sorry. Oh, jeez. Did you see that? There's a bird right there. In real life. Oh my gosh. I told you the birds are crazy. He was like right there. Oh. The royal family are all about charity works, from what he's saying. Hey Mesa. Is your name Doug too? I need to know people by their first names. I like first names. If you don't want to be called by your first name, I won't do it. Yeah, Snowy. I could go into that, but I don't want to because it brings me down. Hey, love, don't bring me down, Andy. Yeah, birds are cray cray. I know. Say this. Oh, geez. You know what else we have here in Indiana is ticks. I've lived in the Midwest most of my life, 90% of my life, and I never saw a tick in my life. Well, I did live in the suburbs, so that would be one reason. But here we have a ton of ticks. I saw the first tick in my life this past summer. horrifying. They really freak me out. It's weird. Anyway, sorry. I do love nature. I have to get out in nature more. I am more of a city girl, and I don't apologize for that, but at the same time I do love the country and the mountains and the forests. I just don't get out there that much. One, because I'm busy, two, because I'm busy. So that will change. I am going to go for a run later today. I have to get going on that, or else I'll never do it. So yeah, anyways, there's my soapbox. I just don't get lulled to sleep, but at the same time, don't be hyper aware. It will drain you. Man, it just bugged me last night. It really, really bugged me. And I hear it all the time. And I think it's because the people that are around me listen to that stuff and watch that stuff. And, at work around normies, I have to finagle around conversation about politics and all that crap. So it's not real. What you experience is real. And geez, just stay neutral. I had no qualms about saying to my coworkers, I am neutral. I'm on nobody's side. I'm on my own side, Hey, Red. Hey, Doctor. So, yeah. There was my next point. Oh, good. I got 2 points down. I don't have a list. This is totally off the cuff. I'm happy to be off on a Friday. I like Fridays. This is a true day off. Anyways, so, all right. So what I was going to mention, which has been on my mind a lot, I'm going to get more coffee in a second because this is cold. I did not get enough sleep last night, so maybe I'm a little loopy. Does anyone ever get the tone in the right ear that sounds like, oh, the ringing in the ears? Yeah, all the time, Andy. All the time. But don't be hyper focused on it. Yeah, there are different frequencies. I agree with you, Rad. Oh yeah, you got to be in tune with the right ones from the spirit, not negativity. Anyway, okay. So I wrote in my pin initially, and I don't know if anyone saw it. Epigenetics. So I was talking to a friend about epigenetics, and I have some smart friends, let me tell you. And he was describing to me, we were talking about fear and what each person we were talking about. It kind of goes along with what we were talking about anyways. Love that. Love those connections. We were talking about how different people are afraid of different things. So things that he is afraid of, I wouldn't necessarily be afraid of. Things that I'm afraid of, he's not afraid of. And we can all say that. So he was saying how fear can be genetic or epigenetic. And I've known this friend and I, we've known each other since 2011, so a long time. So I think we had this conversation when we first became friends, so it sounded kind of familiar. So he was speaking about how genetics and epigenetics have a part in how we process things around us. Right, generational trauma, right. Uh-huh. Well, then you know more about it than I do. I'm no expert in anything. So you guys are probably more experts. I'm just touching on it because it was on my mind. So as we talked about epigenetics, and I looked it up, but I didn't like the Science's definitions of it. My friend was saying how it is more of a spiritual, physical thing coming together, and that scientists can't figure it out. It is on the education side, a lot of that nurture versus nature thing. Oh, do you? Okay, Sarah, you can plug yourself. I'll have to look that up. cosmic genes. Yeah. So it got me thinking on more of the personal side, not the scientific side. I get the nurture versus nature stuff and blah, blah, blah. But yes, generational trauma, and I was talking about this with my sister last night. Thank you, Nathan. That what is exposed or not exposed to us is what we fear. So that's the nurture part. What we perceive others to fear is also what we take in as children. So that has obviously the effect. But it's time to reverse that. Let me tell you, I'm reversing all that in my life. So you can too. So that's the nurture part. The nature part is more the epigenetics, kind of, but it also has a spiritual side to it. The way my friend was explaining it was your ancestors were scared of a red snake because of, such and such generations had gotten bitten, and then they were all fearful of these snakes. So then here a child is in 2024 seeing a red snake in a tank at a pet store, and then they are afraid of it and they don't really know why. Yeah, Wendy, yeah, I have a lot to say on that. I can't say anything on here about stuff like that, but isn't that interesting, Wendy? So it comes down to how those two things go together. I'm not making sense, I'm sorry. So I'm just touching on this subject. But epigenetics made me think, talking along those lines of the generational trauma or generational epigenetic side of what we fear or what we, and it doesn't have to be just fear, it has to be how you perceive anything. Generationally, it does have a lot to do with a lot. And for me personally, I would say to anybody, and I've said this before, look at who you are most like in your family. I feel like there's ties that goes along with your DNA of generational, I don't want to say curses, but generational trauma and things that you've inherited. So I've said before, I'm a lot like my mom's. I look like my grandma, my mom's mom, and I have a lot of tendencies. Oh, a butterfly! A lot of tendencies from that side of the family. And I found out even more so. My great grandma, so that was my grandma's mom, was a bitch. And I'm like, oh well, I have those tendencies. I got to be careful. She was hard to handle. My great grandma, I guess, was so hard to handle. They had to take turns when she got older of taking care of her, like who she would live with, because none of the children could handle her for too long. So, yes, Wendy, and we can say that for all of us, can't we? What we go through and what we come through is what makes us who we are. For sure. So anyways, back to that epigenetic piece. So then I was thinking about our soul, because your soul is who you are. And full disclosure, full disclosure, let me think of how I'm going to say this. I'm not going to go right to the Bible with some of this stuff, because the Bible doesn't have black and white answers for everything, okay? So if you expect me to do that, or if you expect to find this, you won't. I was starting to think of that. Oh, really, doctor? Maybe. Um, I should be careful. I'm getting very distracted today. I have lots on my mind. So anyway, uh, thank you, Aki. Okay, now I lost my train of thought. Mm-hmm. Let's see. What was I talking about? I'm telling you, my brain is like fried. Okay, the soul. Your soul is who you are. If that epigenetic piece has happened in your generational past, what if that epigenetic piece is part of your soul in the past? I'm not talking about regeneration. I'm talking about where were we before birth? Where was your soul? Now, people don't believe me. Like people in my circle think that I just bring these things up as of recently. But in all reality, a lot of what I think about now is what I thought about as a child, and I was never steered or guided the right direction on how to question things, so it was suppressed. And so now that I'm finding myself again, I guess, and getting rid of that inner child and whatever crap, that I am coming back to these questions. So as a child, and I grew up in a Christian home, so I went to Sunday school. I mean, my first memories of Sunday school were, playing as a 3-year-old and watching the flannel graph pictures. So I know what's taught. So as a child, I would often think, because you are taught that, you're created by Yah, and you are given as a gift to your parents that way and all that, which is true. But I would think to myself, where was I before I was born? And I would imagine myself, my soul, I would imagine all these baby souls in heaven in like these waiting, I don't know, like in a star waiting or something. That's what I would think as a child. I would think my soul was in a holding place until I was born. And I think I was probably 5, 6, 7 when I thought that. But again, with the epigenetics now, that's kind of come up in my right, Alki. And children know, right? We can sense things and how they are possibly, or we have our imaginations aren't taken. So we think about these things. And so that's what I used to think as a child. But the piece I'm wondering about is the epigenetic part, where do we have fears that were in us, in our souls, somewhere else? So okay. Yeah, Wendy, I think you've mentioned it before, but I'd like to hear it again. There's something to that. Hey, Jerry. So I feel like I don't like the part where we were in a holding place. I feel like that's kind of suppressive. I feel like there was more freedom before birth, or maybe there wasn't, but we had to be somewhere before. Your soul is eternal, so maybe birthstones. Oh, I love that, Alki. I love birthstones and all that stuff. And that also kind of what Wendy said, that lends itself to, did we choose? And Yeah, we were with the Father. I think that, Wendy, but what were we were we doing something? That's what I'm saying, because the soul is eternal. It wasn't my childlike mind thought of a baby soul, kind of like, an infant waiting, but I think it's more than that too. I think we were with the Father in purity, but I think too we were possibly doing other things also. I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of on my mind. It kind of goes with, where did those fears even precede generations? So I don't know. I don't know. But that does make me think a lot about, hey, Anto. It makes me think a lot about dreams also. I'm always thinking about dreams. Last night was kind of a crazy night with the spiritual realm for me, so I won't get into that. I still have to figure it out. Kind of why I feel tired. I don't know. Being sensitive to all this stuff is kind of draining. Wendy and your phone. Do something about it, Wendy. But yeah, I was thinking about dreams then, because dreams sometimes are the other is the spiritual realm, not just your subconscious working things out. It's both. You're choosing your parents because once they had been your yeah. We can't know, but it's really interesting to think about. Now, my friend, he believes in the Most High, but he kind of had pieces of evolution in when we were talking about it, so I didn't ask him about that part. So is this stuff ingrained in us for centuries? I saw that post where people list how many ancestors you have, which we all know our ancestry can't go back. We can't go back much farther than 400 years, any of us. I don't know. Maybe some of you can. I can't. I think the farthest back on my dad's side I could go back was the 1700s. I'm related to some. Oh, my dog's blowing me a kiss. I traced my ancestry back to, I don't know, some baron in Czechoslovakia, Bohemia. But it's like a German type name, so maybe he was German. I don't know. He was a baron. I do have royal blood, I guess. But on the flip side, my grandma married a poor Italian, so what does it matter? It doesn't matter. I'm no baroness. But yeah. So that's what's been on my mind. So yeah, the dream part kind of goes along with it. Oh, do you have a slave name or a Slavic name? What do you mean, Rad? Did you mean Slav? My grandma was full Bohemian. My grandpa was full Italian. So, on my dad's side. Yeah, Wendy. But everyone thinks I'm full Italian because of my names, but I'm not. People think I have maybe some attitude because of the Italian side. Nope, I don't. My Scottish side, Wendy, right? The Scottish side has the fire. Right, Bruce? Mm-hmm. Ooh, it's getting chilly. It's a breezy day. I'm getting cold. I will be right back. Enjoy the view of the tree. This is the tree I took a picture of with the snow on it. I'm going to go get some more coffee and I'll be right back. Chat amongst yourselves. Enjoy the sounds of nature. What'd I miss? My daughter was making a royal mess in there. Oh, forever. Oh, geez. Maybe my chat's done. I don't know. It's almost been an hour. I don't have much to do, but right, pseudo, yeah, probably. Oh, everything. I told you, shit show, hot mess, all that jazz. My daughter's always making a royal mess. It's funny. Oh, we were talking about royalty though, like Scottish princesses and all that. It's funny, barons. I don't know. Common folk. That's right, Alki, and that's what I am. You're bringing out. That's what the South Side of Chicago is known for: blue collar, hardworking people, and that's really that's something generationally that has been given to me, which I'm thankful for. I know the past generations have worked hard. Nope. Go back inside. But I want a hug. Not right now. I'll give you a hug in a second. I don't want her on camera, so. Right, forever. Right. Yep. Ooh, I didn't sweeten my coffee. It's black. That is strong. But yeah, we your grandfather had 3 brothers after World War II and married the USA. Oh, interesting, Carlson. Carlson has one of my family names too. That's interesting. Well, Bruce, not always. I mean, Southside used to be nice. I grew up there for a short time too, in the city. I liked it. If there's one thing you'll get from my channel, it's that I love Chicago. I don't like all the other stuff that distracts. I like the actual people and not the driving machine, you know. I don't like systems. I'm talking about the real people, the reality. You know, goes for anything. I think wherever you grow up, like I said, the different energies where you grow up. Sometimes we have good memories. Sometimes we have bad memories. And I'm gonna sound like a grandma. The older I get, the more I'm thankful for what the past generations have instilled and taught me. I'll have to do more Alki. You know, before 2021, I had a whole plan to go to Chicago and do live streams. But now it's even fucked up because I can't do live streams on my phone without getting, you know, the brouhaha of trolls. But I wanted to do videos of the city. So it's kind of still on my bucket list of things to do. I got to find time to do it. I might be going to the city in a couple weeks, so I will try to get one out there. I want to be specific where I go. So I do, there's actually a really awesome church that I saw someone share that you can, yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll make sure it's a plan. I'll go, you can go to the top. It's a really gorgeous church building, but we all know what church buildings could have been. It's old world for sure. It's really cool from what I've seen, and I've never been there. I have been, the only church I've been to, but it was before I knew what was what, is I don't even know the name, Holy Name Cathedral or something, the big one in Chicago. I have been inside that, which is gorgeous too. But I specifically want to go to the one where you can go to the top at the tower. So that'll be cool. I'll make a note of that. I had a note about something else I needed to make a video about, and I can't remember right now, but I'm a workaholic now, so who's got the time? But yeah, Alki, I will try to do that more. I want to. It's a beautiful city, and it's very intriguing. So, oh, the glass factory. Oh, a telephone book. Who uses a telephone book anymore? Yeah, snowy. Yep, the cathedrals. But yeah. Ooh, I am cold now. I should like have a hat on or something. But the cold air is good. It helps. Actually, both my coworkers yesterday were like sick, and I get like those empathy sick feelings. I started feeling, I feel sick when other people feel sick, but I don't get sick. I don't know if I'm a true empath though. Some people are more empath than I am. Bootleg tunnels. Well, I don't know, Alki, if I can do that. I can take you to Lower Wacker. Lower Wacker Drive is scary. It is scary. I mean, people drive crazy down there, but it's creepy. I feel like every time I'm under there, I feel like the street is going to collapse on top of me. It's so dark. It's really weird. But yes, Rad, right. You can't do that. And I am good about I can shield it. Yeah, I was just going to say, Wendy, you have to shut it off. And I really only can sense people if they are willing to be open, if they are open to that too. But if people are closed, I mean, I can tell how they are, but I can't connect. So, interesting enough, that's why with children I can have that good connection and understand them, and they can understand me. There is one particular boy though I cannot. Something about him is shut down, and spiritually. And he's a deep thinker and he's a deep emotional person. So it's interesting that he's kind of shut something off. But yeah, Wendy, right? Yeah, you gotta. That's why I feel like I'm two different people. That's kind of why I do this stream, because during the week, I feel it's all business. I get so drained from that. Even physically, I have to. So those damn fluorescent lights in offices do drain you. They make you very lethargic. I turn my office lights off now. If I don't have people in my office, I just shut the lights off. And it helps a lot. Yeah, the cymatic patterns. Elkie, your stream was awesome last night. I was just very tired and I couldn't take it all in, but I'll have to maybe watch it in bits and pieces. It was beautiful. A lot of Paleo Hebrew in nature and in old pictographs. But yeah, like I said, going back, I guess circling back to that, hey Johnny, that thought of not being hyper focused. When you are empathetic, you can be hyper focused, and you don't need to do that. For me, like I said, I have to, whatever's brought to me is what I need to address or focus on. I'm not seeking anything extra out. Geez, who needs extra? I sure don't. So yes, I do. A Snowy, I do have a salt lamp, and I have one of those glacier looking lamps. I use that, Snowy, and I'll probably get a softer bulb floor lamp for sure. Oh, yeah. Right, Wendy? I've had a couple interesting dreams. So I had a dream the other night that I was watching people go on a Titanic type ship, and it wasn't 1912, it was present day. And this Titanic ship was known in my mind, and these people were boarding this ship that was larger than the Titanic, but as grand as the Titanic was then. There's a lot of, the bugs are out. There's a lot of, obviously, truths hidden in the Titanic too. But anyways, I was watching swarms of people get onto this ship that was already sinking. And then when they got on the ship, for some reason I got on the ship, but then I was able to get off. The people on the ship knew it was sinking. It already was damaged when they got on it, but they were sitting there waiting for it to sink, not getting off. It's not like they couldn't get off. People were not getting off. They were boarding it. I hear music, but nobody's out there. It's really weird. So, prisms in your lenses. But yeah, that was my dream. And I didn't warn people either in my dream. I saw people boarding and I just watched. I didn't run after them. I didn't say, hey, the ship's already going down. I just watched. And I thought, these people are getting on a ship that's sinking. They know it's already damaged. And then they were sitting there oblivious on this sinking ship, waiting for it to sink. So Yes, Anto. No labels. You know, we could all be labeled as something. Oh. Yeah. I think, you know, Rad, along those lines, um, when you think about how things are perceived, so I was talking about how when even two people experience the same thing, it's still not the same experience. Um, how do we perceive? I thought that another thing I thought as a child, and it pops into my mind sometimes, is do we see color as other people see color? Um, when I see red, do you see red the way I see red? Um, you know, we can only produce what we're told is the color red. You know what I mean? That's like way philosophical. Neurodiversity. Uh-huh. Um, you neurodivergent people are very, I shouldn't put you in I think we're all neurodivergent if we choose to be. There's special gifts with that, with observations and all that. So, right, Wendy, exactly my point, right? All of our senses combined, whatever that is, we all perceive things differently. And we never can experience what the other person's experiencing in that either. So, that's why only what we know is true is what we experienced. Can't measure awesome. That's right. You all are awesome. You guys. A lot of people say y'all here, and I'm like, in Indiana here. I'll never say y'all. You guys can say y'all all you want. Right. We agree. Can we agree on everything? I don't know. Right, Johnny? That's what I was saying at the beginning of my stream. I don't know if you were here. Oh, Anto, where are you in the United States? Or are you across the pond? Yeah, Andy. Andy, I'm surprised you. That's funny. Well, yes, Bruce, that's for sure. The thing, oh, Belgium. Okay. I could probably experience a lot more, but like Wendy said, you have to shut it off, and I have to shut off. But you can't willingly turn things on either like that. And sometimes it just hits you. Um, hits you. And sometimes you can sense it and ease into it. I don't know, it's all that jazz. I don't even like that terminology. Why am I saying that? Chaff. But I'm sure it's beautiful. I've never been out of the United States. That's why even when I say, "Oh, I'm going to go to Chicago," yeah, that's about as far as I go. Yeah, I get it, Anto. Ugh. I get bored too. But that's about all I got today. Good chat. Yeah, but I will be thinking about that dream I don't think it's prophetic. Well, I can't say that. I'm sometimes prophetic. Oh, the bugs are coming out. Yeah, the mosquitoes are coming out. My dream makes sense. It's not really prophetic. Of course, people are getting on a sinking ship. I see it all the time. But whatever. The point is, I am not getting on that sinking ship. Oh, I see, Anto. Yes, Andy, I'm sure you can. That's right. I have family that lives there, Andy. Yeah. You did, Nathan? Oh, Aurora. That's north side. We got north siders. Northwest. North. No, wait. I got to get my bearings. South, southwest, south. Yeah. Wait, Sarah, Milwaukee? Milwaukee? You mean Milwaukee? I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yeah, northwest. Yeah, Pseudo. I had to think of the map in my head. You guys are there. I live down here. Now I live over here. Well, over here. Oh, Sarah. Yeah, I was born in Wisconsin. Oh, my family moved away from there when I was not 8 years old. Milwaukee Power Tools. Milwaukee's an awesome city too. I don't get to go there that often, but I do like Milwaukee also. I considered moving there, but I didn't. Maybe I should take a trip to Milwaukee. Take some. There's some cool buildings there too. Oh, oh. I don't know where Cedarburg is. Anyways, all right. I'm gonna get going. Got some stuff to do. But yeah. I don't know. Unless you want me to talk about something else, I could go on. I mean, I'm in no rush. This is my day off. I can do what I want. I can do what I want. The buds on the trees are popping out. There's going to be a bunch. I won't be able to do outside streams in the summer because we have a ton of yellow jackets and bees out here. West Coast, South Side. Yeah. The West is awesome. Wayne's World. Oh, I know everyone is, right? The birds kind of went away. I don't know why. For what, Nathan? But you're welcome. I just like hanging out. Oh, I missed your comment, Andy. Verticals are parallel vertically to the ones. I'll have to catch that later. Oh, here come the robins again. Oh, and the bug. Gross. All those little gnats and flies and all that gross stuff are coming out. Do you hear the frogs or I don't even know what they are. City girl, I'm sorry. Can you hear them though? You hear it? They're loud at night. I gotta find some more chill videos to post. I was asked to post more of those, like the storm videos, the candle, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like chill, peaceful moments, you know. When you're talking about Wayne's World and everything, it makes me think of MTV and when I was a teenager, and that's what we did on our Friday nights. I've always loved Fridays. So when I was like 15, 16, my best friend and I would go out to dinner and then, or maybe the mall, and then we'd go back to her house because my mom wouldn't allow us to do anything and her mom would. So we'd either be, man, the mosquitoes, gross. We'd either be drinking wine coolers on my friend's patio, or we'd be watching MTV till like 4 a.m. And then we'd wake up at 6 or 7 on Saturday morning. Yeah, Elkie. I wasn't that. I was a good Christian girl. I didn't do anything more than the wine coolers, but or watched our rated R movies on MTV late at night. that was my teenage years. Right? Yeah, toads and crickets and mosquitoes. Oh man. Remember on MTV they had those pop-ups during the music videos telling you little, what were those called? Those little informational bubbles about the singer or whatever. So yeah, my daughter might be getting impatient. Ooh, she almost fell down. She's okay. Oh, that's good, Andy. Hold on one sec. All right. Yeah. Good, Andy. Oh, you're welcome, Carlson. Yep. Beautiful people. Pop-up video. Oh, VH1. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that wasn't MTV. It was VH1 or MTV that we used to watch. But yeah, my daughter is getting impatient, so I'm going to have to go. Good, Andy. Keep it up. So, yeah. The sun's coming out, or it was out, but the clouds are unnatural. Damn it. That's okay. Just keep saying, don't bring me down. They won't bring us down. Yep. All right, guys. Cool. Happy Friday. Blessings. Thanks for coming. I enjoyed it.